Hey, can you help me with my school project?
I guess.
I love the enthusiasm.
What's the project about?
So I have to make a negotiation scenario, and then I have to pick one. I gotta say what's gonna happen beforehand, act it out, and then I gotta say what I want them to get out of it in the end.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Look, what is it gonna take me to get you to help me on my project?
I know. We can get Chick-fil-A.
Sure, come on.
Bet.
I also need help picking a scenario.
Ugh, you need all my help, don't you? Why don't you do something basic like negotiating a salary?
Oh, that could work. That was a weekly topic in class that we had covered. What role would you want to be?
I'll be the girl boss.
Alright, then I'll be the employee, and I'll be negotiating a raise in my salary since I've been working with the company for a while. Now, I wonder what that would look like.
Good afternoon, Zach. What did you want to meet about?
Hey, Emma, I wanted to discuss my salary with you today. I feel like I've really been putting in the extra work and doing some extra activities, and I would just like to review my overall salary compensation for all those extra activities that I'm doing.
What's this all about, Zach? We've already talked about your salary in the past. Why do you think you deserve more?
Based on my recent activities with the company, I find that I deserve to be paid more for my activities. I've done some market research into what I should be paid for my work, and I found that I make around $15,000 less than the average person that is performing my activities on a daily basis.
That's great and all, but I'm going to need to see proof of your company contributions and this so-called research that you've completed.
It's all in here, all organized by date of completion with my market research at the front.
This is pretty good work, and I appreciate it. However, we have to consider budget constraints. I can't just hand out $15,000 in raises across the board. We would go bankrupt.
So I understand that. Would you be willing to do a raise of $12,500? That's $2,500 off of the average salary.
That's still quite a bit of a raise, don't you think? After reviewing your research, I think that a $9,000 raise would be acceptable.
So I appreciate your offer, but I do believe that getting a little more than that would be more than fair. I could come down a little bit off of that $12,500, maybe to around $11,000.
I still can't do your offer, just for the best interest of the company. You're doing great work and taking on more responsibilities. How about we do a nice even $10,000 for your raise? And I'll even give you an updated position title based on your new activities. The salary increase should come into effect next pay period.
That works for me. Thanks for sitting down and negotiating with me today about my salary. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing to do great work for the company.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that could work as a scenario. Video is complete.
Wait, aren't you forgetting something? Like the whole teaching portion?
Oh, right. Well, one of the effective techniques we showcased was dropping an anchor.
Wait, what's an anchor?
So, an anchor is a communication bias that describes the tendency to give too much weight to the first number put forth in a discussion. This then allows the discussion to often inadequately adjust from that starting point, hence the name anchor.
So, by the employee dropping a raise request of $15,000, he was able to work off that number. He originally only wanted $10,000. That's smart.
Yep, if the employee had started out at his desired raise of $10,000, he would have had to come down from that price at the start, making him have almost no chance of getting his desired raise. His anchor would have been set at $10,000 and not $15,000. It is important to note that when negotiating, a realistic anchor should be used, as one too far off will be completely ignored.
Oh, that makes sense. What if the boss went first and dropped her anchor?
That's a great question. In this event, it's always best to attempt to dismiss the anchor as soon as possible. This can typically be done by dropping your own anchor that is accompanied by facts to effectively remove the other anchor.
Oh my gosh! I get it now! So if the boss dropped an anchor of, say, $5,000, the employee would have to drop his own anchor and likely show her the research he completed.
Exactly!
Wow, that's amazing! I'll have to remember that for the next time I negotiate something.
And another item that we can highlight is how the employee came prepared to the negotiation with a plan and supporting documents.
Wait, so why is being prepared for a negotiation important then?
Coming to a negotiation prepared allows most people to feel more confident about their negotiation strategy. It is often recommended that research and facts be gathered prior to the negotiation to ensure that everything can be steered in the right direction. It would be terrible to have the opposition ask for a specific fact and not have it. For this reason, preparations are critical for a successful negotiation.
Oh, I got it. But what do you think I should research for salary negotiations?
Well, according to page 147 of Transformative Negotiations, experts recommend certain preparations such as researching job salary ranges, your market value, and learning about the other party. By completing such tasks, your life will be a lot easier once in the negotiation.
So, is there like a document we can use to help prepare for this?
Yes, there is. The Lewicki Planning Sheet is a great resource to help with planning out negotiations. It asks several questions to help gear the mind towards understanding the negotiation at hand and knowing key parts such as your BATNA.
Wait, my BATNA? What's that mean?
A BATNA is your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It's another effective tool to have in your arsenal as a negotiator. A BATNA can also serve as a strong tool to reveal within a negotiation. However, there is no one right solution to choosing to reveal your BATNA or not. Revealing it depends on the situation at hand.
Huh? Okay, wait a minute. What was the employee's BATNA then?
The employee's BATNA was the fact that he had multiple other arrangements lined up for potential jobs. This gave the employee the power to negotiate more since he knew he had backup plans if things were to go south. He also chose not to reveal it since it did not serve the negotiation at hand.
Oh, okay. I'll have to remember that for future situations.
Oh, and another core concept to point out is how the negotiation was steered to a win-win scenario.
How did they achieve their win-win scenario?
First off, let me explain that a win-win negotiation is when both parties are able to come to a mutual and beneficial agreement for both sides. The employee was able to win by getting a raise to his salary for his desired amount. The boss was able to win by getting to keep one of her top talents working at the company while also not paying the employee a ludicrous amount. This win-win scenario was achieved by looking at the differences within the negotiation. Each member had different interests in the scenario. The employee wanted a raise, whereas the boss wanted to not pay a high amount for the employee. By the employee recognizing this and not holding firm to a specific price point, the conversation was able to be steered towards a win-win scenario.
Okay, that was a lot of words, but glad to see that win-wins can be achieved.
Yep, the most effective outcomes of negotiation are the ones of compromise and win-win scenarios. Thanks, Katie Shonk, for describing a win-win scenario. One other facet to highlight is the importance of listening within the negotiation.
How is listening important in negotiations?
By performing active listening techniques, one can learn about their other party's interests. This allows you to know how to tailor your negotiation strategy towards their interest and yours by compromise.
So, you're telling me by not listening, you can't really understand what the other party really wants?
Exactly. Other items to listen for is their BATNA, authority, and arguments. By listening for these individual items, a greater perspective can be gained on the true outlook of the other party on a negotiation.
How well did you think each person listened in our scenario?
Well, the boss was notably more checked out from the conversation from the beginning with her laptop open, typing away. Luckily, the employee was able to grab her interest by handing her the physical evidence that he had brought to the table. It pays to be prepared.
Huh. So the boss probably paid less attention due to her authority.
Yeah, that could be a factor. It also could have been because she wanted to dismiss the negotiation entirely. Luckily, again, the employee was able to capitalize on this by listening carefully and keeping the conversation to the point rather than keeping it going on and trying to operate more in circles. He was able to just be directly upfront with her and get the conversation moving towards his direction.
Huh. Listening is really important for an effective negotiation. There's so much to unpack in such a short scenario, such as the one we thought of.
Yeah, negotiations often happen so quickly and it can be difficult to keep up. That's why you should practice negotiations prior to the real deal.
Well, I think others will learn quite a bit from this video we're going to make.
Yeah, I hope so. I'll have to let everyone out there know that when negotiating, staying confident in yourself and asking for what you want can lead to great opportunities. Okay, let's go film this thing.
Wait, aren't you forgetting something first?
Oh yeah, let's go get Chick-fil-A.